Greetings, Basic Comp. We're here in fourth quarter grammar, and this quarter we're going to focus on sentence patterns. Last quarter we worked on our 8 parts of speech, and if you remember, IVAN, Ivan, CAPP, so interjections, verbs, adjectives, nouns, conjunctions. Did I say adjectives? So then adverbs, preposition, and pronouns. This quarter, we're going to look at sentence patterns. And I often start a unit on sentence patterns with prepositional phrases. So what happens many times is students they'll be looking for the subject of the sentence and they'll pull out the object of the preposition, or they're just not sure. And if we can look at a sentence and isolate and identify the prepositional phrases, then we do a lot better at finding then the subjects and verbs and the rest of the elements of the sentence. So in prepositional phrases, we learned about prepositions. And prepositional phrases always start with a preposition, and they always have an object. And the object of the preposition can be a noun, or it can be a pronoun. Prepositional phrases can also have adjectives that describe this noun, but they always start with the preposition. So let's look at, I put some prepositions up here and we can think for a minute. These are common prepositions, and so let's use the word box. So I could have something under the box. I could have something on the box. I could have something in the box. I could have something near the box. And each one of these phrases, we start with a preposition, and then we have a noun. I could add more adjectives. It could be under the big box. It could be on the small box. It could be in the black box. It could be near the really pretty box with ribbons. You can add a lot of adjectives. And one reason why we look at prepositions, again, I said, is so that we can isolate this group of words is not the subject, is not the verb. So here's a sentence. The red apple on the table belongs to me. So a lot of times when we're talking about sentence patterns, or if I'm saying, this sentence isn't working, let's find the subject and verb. A better thing is to look and isolate and find the prepositional phrases. So let's look at this. The red apple on the table belongs to me. So on is our preposition and to is our preposition. Table is the object of this preposition, and me is the object of this preposition. So if we did this, we could eliminate, these are extras, and I'm going to talk about what their job is. So let's just take them out of the sentence. The red apple belongs. So then I've simplified. I've taken out the extras. What's my verb in the sentence? Belongs. What is belonging? The apple. So the apple is the subject and belongs is the verb. Now we had these 2 prepositional phrases, on the table and belongs to me. Now prepositional phrases, and we'll do a worksheet where we need to identify, prepositional phrases do the job either of an adjective or an adverb. Now let's think back. An adjective describes a noun, and an adverb describes an adverb, another adjective, or another adverb. But in the case of prepositional phrases, they usually are just describing a verb. So we have 2 options. the prepositional phrase has one of two jobs that it's doing. It's either doing the job of an adjective. Sorry. It's either an adjective or it's doing the job of an adverb. So let's look at this prepositional phrase. The red apple on the table. It's not the red apple in the fridge. It's not the red apple in the grocery bag. It's the red apple on the table. So this phrase is specifying which apple. That means it's describing this apple. It's the apple on the table. Maybe my kitchen has apples all over it, on the floor and in the sink. But this is the one on the table. It's doing the job of an adjective. This one down here, to me, this is describing the belonging. So it's not, so if it's describing the verb, the state of belonging, then it's an adverb. Now, why do you even need to know that? In part, sometimes we put prepositional phrases next to the wrong thing. And so then it's not clarifying. So then it makes a sentence kind of muddy or less clear. So when we can identify the prepositional phrase and then identify what it's describing, then we can make sure we put the prepositional phrase in the right spot. So those are prepositional phrases that should help you with your homework assignment.